Okay, take 5's the charm. Desi, I need your help. I don't know what setting is mute on this thing. Hello, welcome to Natural One Productions. This is a bit different than what we usually do. Today I'll be showing you guys 5 simple steps on how to create a D&D character. Creating a character can be really daunting at first. There's so many steps and so many things that you have to do, and it can be overwhelming, and we all get that. But to play the game, you have to go through it, so here's just 5 simple steps on how to get through this and be able to play this magnificent game of D&D. Okay, starting off simple with number 1. Personally, I do this. I try to create a minifigure before I create the character sheet. There's many ways to do this. My personal favorite way to do it is go on to the website Hero Forge. This is not sponsored, but they're a freaking magnificent website for this. On Hero Forge, you can create thousands of different types of characters in all different shapes, sizes, forms. You can have frog people, you can have bowl people, you can do whatever you want with it. Creating your character first before your character sheet is a great way to visualize what you want your character to be. How you want them to act. Are they male or female? What do they wear? Do they have a helmet, a shield, spear, whatever? It's just an overall great way to take a step back and just see what your character is on the outside. Next step, step number 2, is go to an app like DND Beyond. Again, not sponsored at all. They're just a glorious website / app. Whatever you want to call it. Using an app like D&D Beyond makes the creation process so much easier. They take you through step by step what you need to do. They highlight in little blue icons, oh, you need to fill this thing out first before you move on. Oh, and this thing doesn't need to be filled out, yada, yada, yada. That goes through it way easier than going through the paper version, which I think is awful and I will never do again compared to these apps. It takes less time, it's less daunting, less terrifying for new users, very simple, very elegant. That's my second tip. Okay, next, in the creation process of creating your character on one of these websites or on the paper is creating your character's personality. In this section is, what's your character's alignment? For those of you who don't know what tongue twister there. For those of you who don't know what an alignment chart is, it's basically how chaotic or lawful or neutral your character is. For example, on our Tides of Darkness podcast, which you can find in one of the links in one of the directions that I'm pointing. On this podcast, my character is Calvin Black, who is a chaotic neutral pirate. Chaotic neutral means that he's completely neutral in a very chaotic way, meaning he'll do anything and everything in his power to get what he wants, essentially. So this helps out with, is your character calm and collected? Are they jittery and sporadic? Is your character quiet and reserved? Or is your character loud and rambunctious like Calvin is? I'd say it's a very good place to start off by doing your alignment, just to see how your character will act in the future. Okay, number 4. This is the fun part, in my personal opinion. Creating a backstory can be kind of hard at first, especially if you don't necessarily know what you're doing. But creating a backstory is as easy as, how did your character get to where they are right now? Say your character is this little wizard guy. How did he become a wizard? Why is there a little demon standing next to him? How did he get his powers? Well, he got them by doing this and completing this, and oh, he was born in this place, which means it got him closer to this thing. You get the idea. Sometimes it's easier to work backwards, starting from where they are now to how they got to that point, and you can be very general. It doesn't have to be, oh, they took 50 steps this way and 50 steps that way and they ended up here. But it can be whatever you want. The fun part about this is you get to make it up. No one knows anywhere in the realm of D&D. You could make up a landmark called Luxembourg, and that's where your character grew up and he was married to whatever, it doesn't matter. I know I bumped that. I hope that didn't show up on camera. Make it up. Essentially, this is the fun part. You get to make up whatever you want and throw it at a chalkboard and see what lands. Finally, number 5 on my list, that's just kind of a general thing, is find a voice for your character. Giving a voice to your character gives life to your character in a way, in a sense. It lets you live through your character, or I guess your character would live through you. Try experimenting with different pitches, different types of voice fluctuations, just different things that you're not normally used to. If you throw in some different talking speeds too, it adds a bit of pizzazz. Really, it can be whatever you want. It's just a fun way to get your character out there. And the more you role play in D&D, the funner the experience is, the more fun the experience is. So give a voice to your character and just see what happens and where it goes, and change it up after a while if you get bored. It doesn't have to stay the same. I change voices every episode in our campaign. If you follow these simple steps, creating a character becomes a lot easier to manage. And don't worry if your character isn't like completely planned out to the T. What's fun about the story of D&D is sometimes that can round out the character for you. So don't be afraid to kind of just roleplay and see what happens and figure it out as you go. That's part of the fun. Okay, that's all that I have for today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or funny jokes, I like those too, please leave those in the comments below. Check out our Tides of Darkness podcast, and I don't know how to end these things. Noah usually does this. Stay chaotic. Totally forgot to shave before this. It's awful.